This lesson we're going to look at combining like terms and the distributive law. And those are our objectives. So combining like terms, like terms have exactly the same variable with the same exponent. So for instance, I could combine x plus 3x because they have exactly the same variable with the same exponent, understood 1. Now if I had x plus 3x squared, I can't combine these, right? Because I have the same variable, but I don't have the same exponent. Similarly, if I had x plus 3y, they have the same exponent, but they're not the same variable. Okay, so it has to meet the same variable with the same exponent. So let's look at a couple quick examples here. So 3x plus 5x plus 6 minus 9. So I can combine the 3x and the 5x and the 6 and the 9. So 3x plus 5x is 8x. And then 6 minus 9 is a minus 3. And so that's our answer. Okay, about part B? 4x plus 2 minus 8x minus 7. So again, we can combine like terms. We have 4x and a minus 8x, and then a plus 2 and a minus 7. I'll sometimes use single underline and double underline to help me do that. Now, if you need to, rewrite these terms side by side. That's certainly optional. So I'll do that here. So we'll have 4x and then minus 8x. So I wrote those terms side by side, and then plus 2 and minus 7. It's just a little easier in my brain when I can combine like terms when they're right beside each other. So 4x minus 8x is a negative 4x. Then 2 minus 7 is a minus 5. Okay, see if you can do this one on your own. So pause the video, see if you can do this one on your own. All right, welcome back. So I am not going to rewrite these side by side. Let's just see if we can do this. So I've got my 5x squared and 3x squared. And that's the only x squared term. So 5x squared minus 3x squared is 2x squared. And then we have a plus 2x, and sometimes I'll even cross those out once I've done it. So 2x plus 8x is plus 10x. And then I cross those out, and then I've got a plus 6. That's all I've got over there, so it does not get combined with anybody. Cross it out. And there's our answer. I cannot combine any of these terms. If I could, I didn't do it right up here. But 2x squared and 10x and 6, none of those are like terms, so that's my final answer. Okay, distributive law or distributive property. We looked at this in class quite a bit. So A times B plus C equals AB plus AC. So and again, I'm just multiplying or distributing that A to both the B and the C. Anything in parentheses. This extends out. If I had A times B plus C plus D, I distribute that A through everything. And in particular, what gets a little confusing sometimes is distributing a negative sign. So distributing a negative sign, it's understood here to be a negative 1, right? We just don't typically write it, but I will just for emphasis on this first one. So this is really negative 1 times 4x plus 2. And when I distribute that, again, I'm just going to multiply the negative 1 to everything in parentheses. In this case, we just have a 4x plus 2. So it's going to be a negative 4x minus 2. Another way to look at it when it's just a negative is I just change all the signs of each term in the parentheses. So that's a 4x, it's a positive 4x, so it becomes a negative, a plus 2, and it becomes a negative. Okay, pause the video here, see if you can do this one on your own. All right, welcome back. We have a negative, and sometimes I'll just sort of pencil a negative 1 here. So negative 3x, so I'll have a negative 3x. And a plus 5. And the last one, again, it doesn't really matter how many terms we have in here. Again, all we're going to do is change, another way to look at it again is change all the signs. So that's a 2x squared, so that's going to be a negative 2x squared minus 3x plus 5. Okay, now let's see where does this sort of show up in the types of problems we're going to be doing. It shows up sort of in a bigger picture. So I wanted to settle that first, so we could sort of compartmentalize that skill set and apply it to when we have expressions where we have to distribute a negative within that. Okay, so the first thing when we're combining like terms, the first thing I normally do, not every time, but normally I will what's called clearing parentheses. I'll distribute through whatever I need to in order to clear that parentheses. What I would not recommend doing is trying to combine these terms over the parentheses. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite 9t minus 8. And then let's clear parentheses in our head. Minus 7 minus 2t. Okay, now that earlier lesson of combining like terms comes into play. We'll combine 9t and a minus 2t to get a 7t. Cancel those out. And then I've got the minus 8 minus 7, which is a minus 15. Okay, pause the video here. Do these next two on your own. All right, welcome back. So I'm going to clear parentheses. So we have 3x squared plus 2 plus, and then let's go and distribute this 4 onto both terms. So it's going to be plus 8x squared minus 28. Now what can I combine? 3x squared and 8x squared gives me 11x squared. Cancel those out. And 2 minus 28 is a negative 26. Last one. I'm going to clear parentheses here. So 3n cubed plus 2n squared minus 5n. Now let's clear them out. So distribute that negative 2 onto everything in parentheses. Minus 4n squared minus 12n minus 2. So we have more terms here, so more to keep up with. Can I combine anything with 3n cubed? Doesn't look like it. So just bring him down. And we normally write these in what's called descending order. The term with the highest exponent goes first, and then it goes down from there. So we'll start with the cubed term. Let's go ahead and cancel that out. How about the squared term? So we have 2n squared minus 4n squared. It's a negative 2n squared. Careful with your signs. Cancel those out. How about my plain old n term? I've got a negative 5n, a negative 12n. It's a negative 17n. Cancel those out. And the last one's a minus 2.